Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. So today we want to kind of just jump into the scriptures and kind of feed upon the examples given by our forefathers and how we should operate in this truth, in a righteous and holy manner, of course. So let's just go ahead and dig into it. We'll start off with 1 Peter.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2. Feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Neither as being lords over Yahweh's heritage, but being examples to the flock.
And there we go right there, being examples to the flock. And that's what we have to really focus in on, being examples, because as men coming out week in and week out to preach the word of truth to our people out here, they're looking at our actions and our behaviors, and we have to operate in a manner that's contrary to the world. We have to operate in a righteous manner.
Right.
And so we have to be that righteous examples to our brothers and our sisters, so that, as we speak and our actions and behaviors, they see that and they'll be willing to see that example and follow that example. And so I think that's it on that one.
Yeah.
We got another aspect in the book of Judith that kind of goes into that. We can go into it, huh?
This is the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because of their hearts depend upon us.
Because their hearts depend upon us, man. Because see, they looking at the teachers of Israel today, man.
Right.
They looking at that example, man. We have to be in a manner that shows that godly nature, man.
That's right.
We have to speak a different way. We have to operate a different way, man. These are those examples, man. If we see somebody who's going out operating in a I guess you say in a criminal manner or something that's contrary to the truth, doing things of thievery, robbery, whatever it may be, man, you don't want to abide by an example like that, man. They're not going to take that serious, man. If we out here just using expletives as we up here, holding the Bibles in our hands, people are not going to gravitate towards that, man.
Yeah.
We need those righteous examples, man,
Right.
of our forefathers. I got a scripture here. This is 1 Maccabees, 2 Maccabees 6, starting at the 18th verse. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. Now this was during the time of Antiochus, when they were coming up against the Israelites and they were trying to get the Israelites to eat swine's flesh and do those things contrary to the law. Verse 19, but he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment, as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man. So these men had acquaintance with Eleazar during that time. And so they were basically like, okay, he ain't gonna eat the stuff, but we still need him to act like he's partaking of this wicked feast. You see what I'm saying? But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision. So Eleazar is in the midst of these wicked Edomites. He spit out, he said he wasn't gonna take the swine. So these Edomites come to him and say, hey, well, we'll give you clean meats, just partake of the feast.
But it says acquaintances. Go back.
Acquaintances, yeah.
Acquaintances. Was he acquaintances with the Edomites, or is those talking about Jacob's acquaintances?
Well, these are Edomites that are getting him to do this.
Okay.
These are Edomites.
Can you read that verse again?
This is let me see. Go up to what was that? That was just right above. Oh yeah. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, which are the Edomites, for the old acquaintance they had with the man. Taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision. So, you know, they had the acquaintance with the guy, and they were just trying to get him to partake of the feast, and they knew that he wasn't going to eat that pork. He was like, oh, no, I'm not going to eat that. Well, here, go ahead and take this chicken then, man. Just partake of the feast. So let's move on. Such as was lawful for him to use, talking about those meats, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. So you see, they up there trying to hoodwink the people who would look at Eleazar as an example. So they would look at Eleazar and say, oh man, look, Eleazar the scribe, man, a man of stature. He's partaking of that. And what would that do? If he was to do that, that would cause the other brothers and sisters to fall. Because they seeing this guy as an example of Israel. And make it as he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the kings, that in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. See that? So those old friends were trying to get him to do this to cause a stumbling block for the children of Israel. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High, therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to disassemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. So this man stated that he would rather taste of death than to cause the young men to fall into the ways of the heathen, man. And see, these are righteous and holy examples, man. So this man was not willing to be a hypocrite for his people to appease the oppressors, man. And that's the mindset that our brothers and sisters have to have in this day, man. Because you know, we're in Babylon. We have these, what was the holiday that just passed by, Easter, and then you coming into the next one. I don't know what's the next one coming. What they got next? Halloween or whatever. I guess that's the next one.
You got Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yeah, Mother's Day and
Mother's Day, Father's Day, July 4th.
Exactly. And so here's the thing. Like with the Mother's Day, like I got an email from one of my aunties, because you know, she was like, what are you doing for your mama for Mother's Day? I haven't celebrated none of this stuff for years, man. But every year it just keeps on coming back. It don't matter how many times I tell them, they just gonna keep on hitting me back. But see, that's a test for you, man. That's a trying time right there, man. Are you gonna fall back into that old way? Or are you gonna keep on following these the examples that the scriptures gave, man?
That's right.
Because we don't want to be hypocrites out here teaching this word, man.
Yeah, just like where I'm from, like right now they got a big festival they have every year called Contraband Days. And it's Contraband Days. It's like a big old celebration, big fair, big cookouts. But the whole thing behind the Contraband Days was this dude was a robber, a thief, a rapist, a slave trader. His name is Jean Lafitte. He was a French, he was sort of like a pirate. You know, he used to be around in the Gulf of Mexico. He was a pirate in the Gulf. And so they had this big celebration honoring this dude, man, every year. You know, and a lot of jakes, they partake in that stuff, man, and don't even realize what they doing.
Well, don't forget, yesterday, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, right? There you go.
That's another one.
Yeah, that's another one, man.
Imagine if you whether your brother or sister married to someone who's a so-called Mexican, and their parents or their relatives want you to come over to celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
And you know they're gonna have them different idols out.
That's right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Praying to them different idols.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But what Daniel did when Daniel was asked to bow down, why he don't bow down to the idol? The king asked Daniel, why you not bowing down to the idol?
Right.
You know, if somebody of that type of power asks you, you might. Well, I mean, That's just showing like the strength and the belief that he had in his power. Daniel,
Yeah.
he said he not finna bow down and worship no idol made of hands. Man.
That was a man that trusted in the Lord unto death, man.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
see, when you coming into a person with that much power and influence, they have in their power to take your life out just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for him to make that statement, man, that let him know, that let us know as an example that he truly feared Yahweh more than he feared man.
That's why you got to have the understanding, you know, of the
That-
scriptures. When you finish that, get Daniel 4.
So this is verse 25. Well, I'll start back at 24. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to disassemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. And so they, through mine hypocrisy and desire to have a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead, man.
Yeah, so either way, you're still
way.
going to die if you.
If you do it,
If
you're
you-
gonna die, you're gonna fall into the hands of the Almighty. If you
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It wasn't going to extend his life anyway.
It wasn't going to
Now get now I know I told you to get Jeremiah 2 and 33. You got any more on that, Art?
nah, that's it on that.
Yeah, get Jeremiah 2 and 33. That's so true. And that's the reason why really when you look at this thing, it's a do or die mentality with the Gospels, because at this point it's like we can't worry about whether or not you're gonna be taken into a concentration. I ain't gonna do no prepping.
That's right.
Ain't no prepping. I'm not gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna buy no weapons or no nothing.
Right.
But the Most High wants to deliver me, he's gonna deliver me. If
Yeah,
not,
right.
he's not gonna do it.
That's right.
It don't
Right.
matter if I come through. Esau ain't gonna get delivered. And Esau got the freaking satellites in the freaking outer space right now.
Right,
He got
right.
bunkers. He ain't gonna get delivered.
You got to have faith that the Most High done already equipped you with everything you need.
There it
Yeah.
is, right there, man. Cause see, just like me and I were talking about that coming up here, man.
Right.
You don't know how the Most High is situating this thing. He may move some. You know how people. We was talking about this, like certain people be like, well, I need to get this and get prepared for this. You don't know how the Most High is preparing you, because his ways are not your ways, man. He can put an individual in your life that can assist in that time, and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just all based upon faith, man. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. Because you can't. Because once someone starts getting into the mode of preparation,
Yeah.
that's a sign of a sign of a lack of faith.
Yeah, of unbelief.
That's a sign of unbelief. If someone's preparing,
Yep.
is a sign of unbelief, man. You always got to be careful, because this place is. We understand what's coming,
Right.
but at the end of the day, when you examine the totality of what's to come,
Right.
there's no way you can deliver yourself. You're gonna
can't.
need Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a savior. You know what I'm saying? Because we could decide to, hey, I'm moved into my apartment or moved into this place or whatever. And there's death waiting.
Yeah, right. It could be.
Death waiting for you. You thinking, you move out, move out to the city or the countryside.
Because it don't matter where you.
It don't matter. Esau sitting there waiting like, oh, this guy, he think he's gonna be over here. Wait till all hell breaks loose.
We
Run
going
right to their house.
Go right on over there.
Run right over there and take their family and do this and that and take all the stuff that he got.
That's right. And it don't matter. Just like the brother was saying, man, if you in the city or in the country. Because look.
Living in the burbs or the hood.
Most of them people in the burbs. Brothers in the burbs. Esau waiting. They like,
Yeah.
man, we been hating that cat for a long time. Soon as it go down, we taking that.
Same thing in the hood.
Same way in
You
the
can be in the hood. All hell break loose. There was a
Be like Jake. Oh, Jake got that car with them wheels on it.
First thing Jake do, they go tear down their own black businesses and
Well, you look at the LA riots. I was watching the I was looking at the article on the LA riots. They had all the people that had gotten killed, and you had a lot of Jakes killing Jakes in the riot.
Right.
Walking down the street, he got killed by another Jake because it was all out mayhem and chaos. So you really ain't got no. It's gonna come down to this: is the Most High gonna deliver you? It ain't nothing. And how much money I got? I live on this side of town. I live over here. I ain't got nothing, or I got something. It don't matter.
Yeah, and the premise of it, man, you get into these scriptures and you follow to the best of your ability and have faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man, and just keep living your life.
that's it.
Just live your life and follow these commandments and have faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man, to the best of your ability, man, because like the brother say, it ain't no amount of preparation you can do.
There's nothing. You could be prepping. You at work. All hell break loose. All that prepping, your house, the way you set it up.
Right.
You had a bunker, you had this, that.
Can't get to the bunker.
Now you can't get nowhere. You stuck at your job somewhere, just like everybody else, and now you got to go from there and try and survive.
Right, right.
You ain't got now the phone's off. You can't get in contact with your family. Nobody.
Because you know, in this instance of war, what's the first thing they go for? Communications.
Yeah.
Communications.
And the element of surprise.
Yeah, the element of
They know that you're going to be prepared, so what they're going to do, they're going to put you in a position where you're not prepared.
Right.
Which you can't prepare for the unpreparable.
Yeah, that's right.
You just can't. And they know this.
They know it, man. They know it. It's amazing, man, because you know, you really look on TV and you see all these preppers, man, buying all this food and all this stuff, man. Dude, how much food can you store up? That stuff gonna get bad eventually, bro.
Right.
You gonna have to eat it. You gonna have to eat that stuff, man. So it's like,
Or are you going to be able to eat it?
yeah, are you gonna be able to eat
Because
it?
when you even just examine a movie like World War Z, when those aliens came through, were everybody at their crib chilling? Nope.
Which one is that?
We talking about them the World War Z
Oh,
And,
yeah. I'm up here thinking about you talking about Tom Cruise.
with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that zombie thing. I was like,
Then you had the one with the zombie, you had the one with Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
You know, I forgot what that was called. I don't know if that was the same one.
Yeah, it was something like I can't
War of the Worlds was
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds was one with
And
Tom
World War Z
Cruise and
was
World War Z.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Let's look at both of them.
Yep.
When stuff started happening,
Right, right.
not everybody was prepared or at the house or
That's
chilling.
right. And look at the
People
road.
was on the road driving,
that
and all hell broke loose.
You remember that movie, The Road, man? The
Yeah.
Road, man. Them people, that was hell right there, bro. Yeah, that was straight up hell, man. And see, like in the scriptures, man, you're not.
Because it tells you in the scriptures, man shall try and go into the city and not be able.
Yeah. Right.
That means that there's going to be a time when you're going to try and go somewhere, and it's like, oh, all hell breaking loose. Let me get back to the home. I got my guns, I got my food, I got all my stuff there. My family's supposed to be there. And Esau going to have the road blocked off, 290,
Everything.
45, blocked off.
Uh-huh.
Then what's people going to do? They're going to leave their car on the freeway
Yep.
and
walk,
start walking to wherever they can go and see what they can do.
see what they can find. Cause you ain't got it, man. Look here.
You're going to leave that's how bad it's going to be. It's people going to just leave their car. They're going to have a $50,000 car. They're going to just leave it on the freeway.
Cause that car ain't
everything
gonna
blocked off. Can't do nothing.
That car ain't gonna mean nothing, man, during that time, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna really start to see what's valuable and what's not, man. You're gonna think about every meal that you done ate, man. Cause see, them missed meal cramps gonna catch. And see, this is an aspect that, brother, we gotta really be cognizant of too, because you know we have a lot of we have fasting. We have a fasting day known as the Day of Atonement. But when you go back into the scriptures, when those Pharisees came into, I think it was John's disciples came to Yahweh Shai. Wasn't it John's disciples that came to Yahweh Shai and said, why do your men not fast?
Correct.
Because he said, while the bridegroom is here, they need not fast, but when the bridegroom leaves, then they shall fast. Because that was a thing of Israel, is the fasting aspect, man.
Right.
They didn't just fast on the Day of Atonement, they fasted often.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the example of Judith, man. I think it was Judith. She fasted every day except for the Sabbath, and the High Holy Feast, man. That woman was a fasting woman, man. That's a lot of fasting right there when you think about it, bro. So that's an aspect of our peace, man. Fasting. You got to really think about that. And what that does, that prepares your body too. Actually, for those times, man, because you may not eat for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? You just may not.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's something to really think about, man, for these times that's coming up.
Yeah, ultimately, you know, we could try and prepare our bodies, but at the end of the day, it's going to be whether or not the Most High is going to be with us.
Right. Yeah. That's
Because
true.
you might be able to go 2 or 3 days without eating, but if the Most High wants to take you out and say, well, guess what? You ain't gonna eat for 10 days, and you're gonna die of famine.
Of famine. Yeah.
He could do that, but you know.
Yep.
So it's so heavy.
It's so
there's
heavy
no
when you're
preparation. Now,
there is
like
no
you said, you got to just live your life and do like. There's nothing wrong with eating healthy, getting in the gym, getting in shape. It tells you, Paul tells you that exercise profited little. That means it does profit.
Yeah.
So we're not telling brothers and sisters don't eat right.
Yeah, right.
Don't work out or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
There's no manner, like your brother's saying, there's no manner of preparation that you can prepare for.
You got to do spiritual preparation.
Spiritual preparation, and those aspects, according to the scriptures, are what it's speaking of. So, like, boy, that boy almost got touched.
Yeah.
But that's the aspect that it's talking about, is that spiritual preparation. See that
Spiritual prepping.
Yeah,
Now I had to do a series called Spiritual Prepping.
yeah, there you go, spiritual prepping. Getting into these scriptures, fasting is a spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
When it's done correctly.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
you're praying for you're praying for more faith. You
Yeah.
know, when you fast and pray for more faith.
Yeah.
Pray for self-control.
Because what is happening when you fast? You're denying the flesh, increase the spirit.
Yeah.
So you know that giving yourself that, you know, that's why Yahweh Shai said when he's gone, that's when they'll fast.
Yeah.
Because that keeps you spiritually inclined, so
That's
to speak.
right.
You know, when you fast often.
Yeah,
so,
you're keeping yourself on a good spiritual vibration with the
Yeah.
Lord, because that's what happens when you examine when men and women had fasted throughout the scriptures. They had a higher encounter with the Lord.
right.
When
right.
you go into even Cornelius,
you go into
you reach a different level because you're denying yourself on this side, only to basically get yourself closer within the spiritual dimension.
and just like with Ezra,
Yeah.
he kept on fasting, and then the angel
Get
kept
on
on
all the revelations.
getting those revelations, man. So that's an aspect of it, man. That you know, you would just want to kind of strengthen yourself in these principles that's
Yeah.
given by the scriptures, man.
That's right.
You got something?
I just got that Psalms 90. This is Psalms 91, verse 1.
Oh man, I look good.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress,
There you go.
my power. In Him will I trust.
That's right. See, that's that refuge, the refuge, man. That's Yahweh, man. And that's who you have to trust in. Because you know, these times are gonna be so bad. We've even heard of prophets of this time that's speaking of so much death in this that's gonna happen in this place.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah. You even got heck, even the elites, Esau, the Georgia Guidestones. They want to
Yep.
bring the world population down to 200 million.
Right.
So that's going to have to include a bunch of mass death.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, and it tells you throughout the scriptures that the blood shall be up to the horse's bridle.
Right.
So that means there's going to be a lot of death. So I mean, we're talking about just out chaos on every level. I mean, look at Venezuela,
Oh man.
and that's like on a low level. That's not even really.
And that-
they didn't even really broke the barrier of where it's going to be.
Yeah, and that thing is constantly going, man. It's been some time. That thing's been.
Yeah.
And see, people kind of forgot about Venezuela, man. But see, Venezuela is still going on.
Yeah.
And see, I saw the comment on one of them. I think it was the brother Yahweh Shai Must Come.
Yeah, Yahweh Shai Must Come be putting up the
He
videos.
put that video up there, and then one of the guys came up on his comment board, and he made a statement. He said, "This is still going on." Cause see, people heard about it days back, but now they see that it's still rolling.
Snuffed in the news.
Yeah.
In the regular news.
And so,
Yeah, people are eating dogs and cats
man,
because there's levels, you know. Now we're here in Babylon, they could just bring it real fast overnight.
yeah,
But like when you go to Venezuela, you got different communities that are heavily affected. Like you have fishing communities.
yeah,
The fishing communities, they're just in an all-out war. You got fishing families that's killing other people in fishing families. So when they try and go out to fish, to go get fish, you got people stealing their boats at night. So they got to have 24-hour patrol.
Yeah.
They have gates. They have gates around where they live, and then you know every once in a while somebody end up dead.
yeah.
You got damn near whole families, man, almost damn near wiped out. Like fishing families, that's all they did was fish. Like, you know, remind you of like Peter.
Right,
He lived
right.
over by the Sea of Galilee, and you know, he probably came from a fishing family.
Yeah.
And they got families just being taken out because of the hard times.
Hey, man. Boy,
Like you go and you see the neighborhoods, it's like damn near ghost town because people either left or they've been killed off.
Yep.
And this is like in certain parts of the country.
You got to really think about the levels of evil that's gonna come.
Now, I tell you one thing,
man.
when you go on that little what's it called, you ain't see no woman running her mouth.
Hey,
The men are the ones who are respected because they can protect
Yeah.
and provide.
you gonna see, yeah, because that's when those women.
And Esau take
are
away
humbling, being humble.
when Papa Esau, okay,
Yeah, right.
or Bay Esau before anyone else, Esau take away them goodies. These, you know, some of these women gonna get in line, but it's really gonna be too late for a lot of them.
Yeah, and you see they already.
Not them, you know.
You see they already started. And just like when you brought out the news article on cutting overtime, you see how the enemy comes in subtle.
Yep.
let me take his overtime away.
Which really men are the ones who do overtime.
Right.
Men, well, you know, you got some women that do it too, but men take advantage of that.
But see,
that overtime is another way to just hurt them pockets.
Hurt them pockets, and see, man, they want to give you comp time for that, man.
That's bad.
Comp time,
that stuff
bruh.
don't even make no sense.
Bruh.
There's no sense to that.
Look how this works.
And then you know your company ain't gonna allow you to have days off anyway.
Bruh, man, hey, bruh, that's so key, because look here, man.
Right.
Let's say you get 3 weeks off of vacation. A lot of times, you can't even take all your 3 weeks of vacation.
Come on.
So they're saying they're going to give you comp time. And then you come back and you accrued up all this comp time, and you say,
You
why
can't
did
even
take-
carry it over. They don't even let you.
So you're going to lose it. So what you doing? You're working for free, man.
Yep.
So now
Companies don't even let you carry overtime anymore anyway now.
they get it, putting you in the trick bag is what they do.
Why they don't make everybody get paid salary?
What-
Or they can just make you work like a slave, put how much work they want on you, and you still get the same pay.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I tell you, man, you know, even at the job, I know they offer positions to you, oh, you're going to get this promotion.
Yeah.
Well, this, that, and all that. Shoot, you got to be smart to whether rejected or not.
Right.
Because they be a lot of times, them promotions will lead you to be a damn, even more of a slave.
Bruh, man.
That's why in my old job, I never wanted to go up into being a manager.
Bruh, that was the main thing that was with me in my gig. I was offered a promotion 3 times, and I shut them down 3 times because I knew what it entailed. More time,
Yep.
and then weekends. And see, that would hinder me from doing the work. So I was like, nah, I can't.
Now you could have got paid more, but
I could have got paid
But
more,
that's chasing- Yeah.
But then I'm chasing the American lot.
Yeah.
And so now, then that would keep me off the corner from coming out and pushing this word, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And man, that would be a strong conviction on me, bruh.
yeah, there's many jobs that I
Yeah.
done seen that required occasional weekends or travel.
And see,
And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'd rather make my little peanuts
Right.
that's
and
exactly
just,
that,
you know, try and make it happen, man.
And
You
see,
know?
and I know with my job, they try to make it mandatory on certain occasions when they start doing these little upgrades or whatever.
Sure, I'll get 1 Timothy chapter 6 and start at verse 5. Go ahead.
They try to make you do it on the weekends, because we was in a meeting and they were speaking of that dude come out and he said, well, we might have to work 3 weekends. I was like, man. And then, but the way he was saying it, I think he was just throwing extremes out there when it may just be one. But I was thinking, man, I don't want no weekends.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want no weekends. I like my weekends.
Yeah, for real.
You know, that's crazy, man.
Because go ahead.
Say start at 5.
Yeah, start at 4 or 5. I don't know what it is, but you'll know whichever one you feel is best. 1 Timothy
Start
first.
about at 5 where God is his game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it.
All right, this is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. For such withdraw thyself.
Yeah.
See, now when you look at those people like that, they say, well, look, the Lord blessed me with this here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Right,
I've been blessed just because they got some kind of monetary increase or whatever.
Right.
That's not godliness, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's of this world, man. That's what your flesh is going towards.
Yeah, that's like IUIC. IUIC brags about having buildings and schools in every city,
Right.
and having all this and throwing these big old Passovers.
Right,
But
right.
that's what because they're thinking that that's something they're supposed to gain.
Right.
On this side, they're looking at that monetary or that physical. We built this school
Right.
as this great achievement. Which yeah, it's okay to have a school or whatever you want to, but don't tout it as some kind of something if somebody doesn't have it that they're less than spiritually.
Yeah.
Because now you're actually you're going into the spirit of this world.
Right.
So keep going. Yeah, go ahead and say what you're gonna say. and
Yeah, I
you
was just
read.
gonna say though that like when Satan told Yahushua that if you bow down and worship him, he can give them everything.
Come on, bro.
Right.
know?
Right.
Yeah.
We ain't saying that them boys is just bowing down worshiping Satan, but if you doing the things, the wickedness that's against what the Most High want you to do, Satan might just bless you with that money.
Yeah.
Just give you that nice car, that big nice house, and you
That's
think
right.
it's something coming from the Most High, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he has rulership
That's
right now, man.
This is his world, man. This Satan world right here.
Yeah. That's why all them entertainers and people that sold themselves to the devil, they getting this
That's
stuff.
right.
Because literally, he is the prince of this world. Satan is the prince of this world. And it's proven when you go into his Yahushua's encounter with Satan.
Yeah.
Yep.
How he said that I was going to offer all these things to you
Yeah.
if you will fall down and worship me.
That's right.
That's why a lot of your favorite entertainers, they did that. They didn't took them deals,
and that's
man.
what they did.
They literally went and did that's why when you go into that whole star, right? The Hollywood star,
Right.
that star is the Baphomet, man.
Right.
That's the official seal that you've actually did what you were supposed to do according to the elites.
And what a lot
that's
of
why they put them stars on the Hollywood
a lot of
Road.
them do when they first, when they finna give a little speech or whatever, and they get the Academy Award, they all of them try to start off thanking God. But who God you thanking? You thanking the God of this world. That's who you
Yep.
thanking. You're not thanking the Most High.
That's right.
Yep.
You thanking the God of this world for your blessings and what you got.
Yep.
All right, this is verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
That's
Come
it,
on.
bro. That's it, bro. Shoot, you ain't carrying nothing with you, man. Leaving this place.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
That's very difficult, man,
That's
because
right,
this
bro.
society always makes you want to have more.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you always got to examine if I'm gonna get this job or make more money, what am I gonna use with that money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to think like that. You know?
Word,
Because there's all
How can I
temptation.
attain more?
Right.
How can I attain more?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're not supposed to be worried about tomorrow, man. We're not supposed to worry about, your future. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to your future, your bright future here in
Nope.
America.
Yeah, I didn't, bro. See, I feel you, bro, because
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't completely been demotivated.
Right, that's right.
Bruh.
Right, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I've been
right, man.
demotivated, and people
Man.
that know me, they look
Right.
at me crazy because they're like,
You used
before
to
I
be
got into this truth,
yeah.
I used to be trying to accomplish things, setting goals.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I was the same way.
Yeah,
I was the same
Yeah.
way, man.
yeah.
Shoot, but
But then they like, you settling for just this?
that's right.
You just
Yeah.
want to live in this
Man.
place?
But they ain't seeing our motivation.
You just want to have just this
we got
truck?
the same motivation. It just turned in another direction.
That's right.
Exactly.
We trying to build our treasures up in heaven. We ain't trying to build
There
our
you
treasures
go,
up
huh?
That's
on
it.
earth, man.
Yeah.
And
You
see,
know,
the-
so it's
Oh,
the
in
same
fact, get that
motivation,
one.
bruh.
and now
Yeah,
the
where is that at?
simplicity, now the simplicity of life is what brothers look for now, man.
Matthew.
Because you on this
Matthew 5,
Yeah,
6.
Matthew 5.
you on
I was
this
trying to get the right one, but
what they
go
call
on.
it, the rat race or whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because you're always chasing after that cheese, man.
Yeah.
And so the simplicity of life, you know,
You're never
the
going to be satisfied.
Yeah,
bro.
and see,
Right.
the older you get in this thing, man, you just kind of get to a point where, man, I don't need that stuff no more,
wanna
man.
simplify
I want to
things.
simplify. The simplicity of life is where it's at now, man. You looking at the big house, people, because I see these young cats coming up now. They like, man, I want this big house, man. Look here, that stuff is overrated. That stuff is overrated. Esau plugging that stuff in your mind,
Yeah,
man.
he gonna make you pay them taxes.
He
Once
gonna
you
make
get the
you pay-
house,
he gonna make
he
you
wants
pay
them
the
taxes
HOA?
that he gonna use for himself.
He gonna make you-
siphon it into a contract work.
And then he gonna take your HOAs and put it straight in his pocket.
Yeah.
And tell you and put a couple of flowers around your neighborhood.
This
and
is
make
a
you think-
big scam. Listen,
It's a
man,
scam,
brothers
bro.
and sisters, America's a scam.
It's a big.
It's not American dream. It's an American nightmare.
That's exactly what
No
it is.
big house with a white picket fence.
Hey.
None of that's true.
Because over in other countries, see, people in Babylon, they don't understand. When you go to other countries, especially in the old world, Africa, Middle East, when they have a house, it's their house.
Right.
They ain't
Hey.
paying taxes and properties
Right.
on it.
That's
Property
right.
tax on that stuff.
That's right.
You paying it.
Right.
Go to Mexico. You got brothers, Jakes, that moved that then saved up 30 grand and built a house in Mexico, and it's theirs.
And own it.
2-story house with 4 bedrooms.
But here in Babylon, you build you a big nice house, pay it off. You gonna be in debt to pay taxes on that house.
Based on the
every year.
square footage too,
That's
Ak.
how big it is.
Hey.
That's right.